end. So I would pray as the colleagues think about it, we handle this particular one after we have concluded the process.
Thank you. We are starting over close. Rule 2.
Yes.
Rule 3.
Right Honourable Speaker, Rule 3 should be amended by substituting for sub-rule 4 the following. Where the oath of allegiance and the oath of a member is to be taken after the first sitting of Parliament, the Speaker shall administer the oath of allegiance and the oath of the members in Parliament. Justification: to ensure that a member who joins Parliament after the first sitting takes both the oath of allegiance and the oath of a member of Parliament. Previously, it was not provided for under the rules.
Thank you. Aisha?
No objection for that particular.
Thank you. I put a question that Rule 3 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the control nay. The ayes have it.
Rule 9.
Right Honourable Speaker, we do propose that Rule 9 is amended in sub-rule 2 and 3 by inserting immediately after the word hand, the word side. 2, by inserting immediately after sub-rule 4 the following. Where the Speaker determines that it is not practicable to comply with the sitting arrangement in sub-rule 2, 3, and 4, the Speaker may permit a member to sit on either side of the House. 4B, notwithstanding sub-rule 4A, the front row seats to the right-hand side of the Speaker shall be reserved for the lead of government business, government chief whip, and ministers. And B, left-hand side of the Speaker shall be reserved for the lead of the opposition, opposition chief whip, shadow cabinet, and party whips of any other party in the opposition. 3, by substituting for sub-rule 5 the following. The Speaker shall ensure that each member of Parliament has a comfortable seat, taking into consideration the age and physical disability of a member. 4, by inserting immediately after sub-rule 5 the following. 5A, notwithstanding sub-rule 4A, the Speaker shall ensure that the seats allocated to other members and members with physical disabilities are reserved for such members. Justification: to give the Speaker the discretion to allow the free seating whenever necessary, and also to cater for the seating arrangement of members with disabilities and other persons.
Aisha?
Thank you, Speaker. I have no problem with the allocating sitting area for older persons. The point of contention is offering free sitting to the whole of left. I was persuaded to give some space because we're a big number. If we restrict ourselves left on left and right on right, probably some people cannot get a seat. But the humble prayer is that at least 2 rows be reserved for the opposition. The minority needs to be protected. At least 2 rows, because the leadership in front needs people to speak to behind. It's not been usual that you'll find the opposition shift on the right-hand side. It's the people in government that shift on the left. But if we are to give in, we give in at least the rows.
Yes.
So the only difference, and I'm explaining because there hasn't been a debate so that people can follow through. The difference with my divergence is that I'm not suggesting that the whole Parliament should be a free sitting. Colleagues say Speaker should restrict the front benches to the ministers on both sides. I am praying that we reserve 2, the front and the second one, so that leaders here have people to speak to when they turn behind. That's the prayer.
I think she's not asking for too much. No. Honorable members, Honorable Aisha is proposing that as opposition, the first floor and the second floor. The second floor. Huh? Now, in the circumstance, I wanted to ask a question. You're now talking about the third floor. I am talking about what Honorable Aisha is saying. Now, if you're saying up to the third floor, in the circumstance that you have space like the one you have between Honorable Abedi and Honorable Polot, can't one of your colleagues sit? No. Will you leave that space free? Will you leave that free?
Right, Honorable Speaker, that's similar to asking. You see on the front bench this side there's only 2 people. I don't know whether I can cross over and I go and sit there.
By the way, I agree with what Honorable Aisha is saying in totality.
So I wanted to actually suggest a slight amendment because she's talking about 1 and 2. But I want to suggest on both ends actually, aside from the front rows, that we count 1 and 2 because it helps when we are coordinating our, our operations, our debates, and so on. It helps a great deal when we are together. So also, I would not want a situation where the second row or third on the other side is filled by opposition people. Because, Honorable Speaker, some people can choose to say, okay, let's now do it that way. So you find even on the government side, on the second and the third, there is opposition people. So that's why I'm suggesting that aside from the front benches, 1 and 2 on both sides should be protected.
1 and 2.
Thank you very much.
But anyway, that is a simple thing. Notwithstanding what the Speaker will pronounce. Yes.
Okay, maybe let me try to clarify, then members can speak from an informed position. Currently, what has been happening is that whenever they have declared free sitting, because of challenges of numbers, and I want you to know that, the issue is about the numbers. You'll find that many members, especially this side where the other side there are many, so there is an overflow. The overflow has been sometimes even on the front bench, on the opposition. And the innovation we are bringing is, even if there is an overflow.
Panadol.
And we are saying, even if there is an overflow, both this bench on the opposition and the government side, because of a hierarchy of leadership in this house, should be reserved for those who are entitled to sit on it.
Yes.
That's number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, if you can listen. Number 2, when do we declare a free sitting? Free sitting is because the seats are not enough and you have a challenge of numbers. So whenever you continue exempting more, you'll cause more crisis of members lacking space to sit. What we are looking at is, let us respect the leadership of both sides. But the other seats can be available to all other members such that members can sit comfortably. That is the innovation.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Angura.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Venus.
Madam Speaker, last week, when the Honorable Katuntu presented here, and the Honorable Aisha, in her minority, also presented to us who were here, we appreciated the well-thought position that came from the chair and also the Honorable Aisha. Those two, the front and the next one, provide an opportunity for sharing information. Many times when we are there, we also give some backup. Now, we cannot have the rest of the seats behind open, and yet we have members who are standing. So I think let's go by the position that Honorable Aisha has presented. we unanimously moved and adopted to it the other time. We can do the same again today. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Alebtong. Then, Naboth, I'm coming to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the clarification I'm seeking, whereas I don't totally disagree with the proposal by Honorable Aisha, and I think it is very healthy. We've had scenarios where sometimes some members decide to abscond, they decide to walk away, and when there are very critical matters of national importance to be discussed. At times when we are sitting in other spaces, for example in Kololo, as a space for Parliament to sit, we've had scenarios where we were sitting at the regional sitting in Gulu, and the issues discussed or to be discussed are very pertinent. And we don't feel comfortable to leave the front rows empty. Therefore, I would like to agree with the proposal by the chair of the committee that based on the discretion of the speaker, when she finds it necessary, he or she, the speaker, can be the one to guide on free sitting. Thank you.
Honorable members, what Honorable Aisha is saying is not ring fencing per se. We are not ring fencing. When it depends on the circumstance. Like now you cannot come to the house, and because you have seen only Lop sitting, then Panadol is going there to sit, Macho, and yet you know very well that is supposed to be for opposition leaders. You get it? And from today, Macho, that's where you're going to be, Panadol, that's where you're going to be sitting. Stop. So, depending on the circumstance. So, for me, I don't really have a problem. Because if leader of opposition is sitting here, cow, they may want to consult. They may want to consult from behind, what do you think, and that kind of thing. Same thing here. That is that. Huh?
Can I suggest a way forward? Because the sort of thing we are discussing is important and so on. I was like been consulting my colleague. Let's concede to the two rows. I concede to the second row and we proceed.
Thank you. I put a question that rule
Thank you. Madam Chair, I would like to be on the record.
Jana, let him first speak.
Thank you, Chair, Madam Chair. We are discussing and mentioning opposition and government side. Where does this leave the members of the independent?
Where are you seated?
But usually we also occupy that seat. Like government side, NRM, we usually sit
I am the Dean of Independence. I will know where my independence will sit. So, and the amendment does not take 9-1. Okay? Yes. Let's first hear from the minister.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I think in the amendment, the committee mentions physical disability. But we people who sit here are not all physical disability. We have a deaf representative. Because physical disability, according to our act, is somebody caused by cerebral palsy, amputation of a limb, and paralysis or deformity.